Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well indoors. So, today I am here to make a video, and what I'm going to do is make a rectangular shaped pendant because I realize that I've not done too many of those. So, let's see how we can make that, and I really hope all of you like it. If yes, then please like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you again. So, let's actually begin. Let's actually begin making the piece. Hello. So what I have here is a slab of clay, and it's rolled out, smoothened out, and everything. And like I said, what I am going to do is make a rectangular shaped pendant. And for that, if you see, this is just a card which is cut out, and the dimensions of this card is about 3 inches, and this is about 2 inches. So that's the approximate dimensions of this. And this is what I'm going to be this is going to be like my stencil. It's going to be something what I just place on clay and then cut around it. That's what I'm going to do right now. So typically for cutting, I'm most comfortable using the X-Acto, and that's what we're going to do. I would just lay it on straight and give it a nice neat cut. Make sure that when you're actually cutting things, it's a nice clean straight cut and not cross or anything of that sort. That's just a really it will probably the end product does not look really very nice when it's like that. So it's nice if you're able to maintain the straightness. Make sure this card is well in place. You don't want it moving, so that can distort the shape a little bit. And we have a shape. Obviously we have to go ahead and smoothen all of it so that the edges are all nice and neat, but do this gently just so that you don't ruin the shape. This is like the usual set of things that we follow for every pendant. You must have seen me do this method, probably used to it by now. So this is something that I follow, as a default method for every single piece that I work on. So I have this piece ready now. So once it's all smoothened out, I'm just going to use some sort of a scale, or in this case, this is a dowel. But you can also use a scale in order to measure. So you can probably start off with maybe half a centimeter, or this is probably about 0.6 centimeters. So now you can measure about 0.6 centimeters and just make some lines like that. I am using my fettling knife to draw the line, and let me tell you that these lines are not very they're not very deep. It's just a marking. So once all the lines are done, you can actually go ahead and take the knife and just make it a little bit more neater. Just making sure that the impression is a little bit more deep, which helps you go on to the rest of the designs. And these lines are here to obviously stay, not that I'm going to wipe these lines off or something like that. So once this is done, we can actually get on with the designing part of it. So for this, what I was actually thinking is doing something with the help of a paintbrush. If you have an old paintbrush, the back end of the paintbrush is what I'm going to use for this particular design. So let's begin. This, if you see, is an old brush, and I don't really use it for painting. Clearly, you know why. But I find this portion extremely useful, which is why I hold on to this. And that's what we're going to use because it's nice and smooth. It gives me a nice depth and a round design, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's begin. So I'm actually going to do try and do alternate. You can also use your ball tools for this if you if you think you're a little more comfortable with that, something like this. But I think for this particular size, I find this more appropriate. So we do these for the alternates as well. Doesn't this already look really nice? I mean, it's a different pattern, and I absolutely enjoy this kind of a depth effect that these really simple things give. So let's begin with the rest of the design. You can also probably use a ballpoint pen refill or some sort of a plastic embroidery or some sort of a needle for this. So you must have seen me use this quite often, so I'll probably try using that now also. And what I'm going to do is actually use the tip of this over here, just in between those round designs. I'm going to do it both ends. Here you go. Now that I've actually done these little set of designs using this, isn't this already looking like a finished piece? It's just a matter of putting two hooks, two U-hooks made of Nichrome wire, and I think this pendant is already all set to go. But like I said, this is I do not want to leave any of these these portions also plain. I'd like to fill it up a little bit more. So let's begin designing that as well. So for that, I was actually thinking of using a basic knife design and seeing if I can go a little more elaborate on that. But honestly, even at this stage, leaving the pendant as it is, absolutely stunning. So let's begin. So what I was also thinking about in terms of designing in, rather filling up in these three empty spaces is something which has a little bit more continuity. Now, when I say continuity, what I mean is, for example, all of these designs actually have continuity when you see them. So going by that, I wanted these three also, rather this is like almost 3.5. But yeah, so I needed these 3.5 empty spaces also to have some sort of a continuity in terms of design. And I just think this design would be the most appropriate here. So what you can start doing is, if you think you cannot reach a exact halfway mark, just draw a minor, a really thin line. Let it not be too deep. It's just a marking that you're trying to give. I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but this is only for your reference. If you are, if you actually want to try and do this, with in the most precise manner possible, then this is probably a good method. So what you can do is this way. The line basically makes sure that you don't cross that particular one, because this is the design that we are looking for. There you go. You have this beautiful arrow-like design that goes in that manner. And what we're going to do now is do it in the other direction. Make a marking, a really light marking. Obviously, this is the only plain part and I don't want to leave that plain. So I would typically fill this up as well. Because it's only half, I would just do this part. That's it. When you are doing this, just make sure you're still holding on to this particular line. You don't want to lose the entire shape. And these designs, it's best that it's not done at an extremely, moist state. So what happens is that when you're using, say, a brush like this and your piece is completely moist, what happens is that the clay is going to stick. Today, when you actually saw me do this, you obviously understood that none of the clay particles are actually sticking to the brush, and I have not used any kind of an oil or any sort of a powder to make it non-sticky. So this is probably the best way you can try and work on something like this. And you see how filled up this is. I mean, this almost looks like a pattern which I've probably carved on something, or maybe done something and just rolled it on the slab, and it's exactly like that. I mean, to me at least, it's exactly like that. And I love these kinds of pendants, absolutely love these kinds of pendants. It's up to you at this stage if you want to add any more ghungroo beads or stick beads, and if you don't want, go ahead, just put in the hook. However you want to keep the pendant, whether you want to keep it this way or whether you want to keep it this way, it's totally up to you. So what you can do is, you can typically for something this wide, I would use two Nichrome wire hooks, and the gauge typically is 24. What I will use in terms of a U-pin over here. So let's fix that as well. I have my U-pins cut and ready, and we can just go ahead and fix this. Like I said, I prefer using two U-pins, and there you go. I mean, generally when pendants are this wide, that's what is going to be the most appropriate. Just so that something like this, if you put a hook in the center, it's just going to wobble all the way and it's not going to sit well. So the best thing is to actually put in two U-pin hooks. The gauge, like I said, is 24 for pendants that I use. So this is it. I really hope all of you like this. I personally do like it a lot, and I'll try and definitely upload a painting video of this as well. So really hope you like it. If yes, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you.